Okay, a pentagonal lamina of 30 sides is resting on HP with one of its corners such that the side opposite to the resting corner is 20 above HP and inclined to VP at 40 degree. Draw the projections and find the inclination of the lamina with HP. Okay, so here after reading the problem statement, you must be able to identify what is the given lamina. In this case, given lamina, that is given plane is pentagonal lamina. So after that, you should look at whether it is resting on HP or VP. A pentagonal lamina of 30 sides is resting on HP. This is second important thing. It is resting on HP. Next, whether it is resting on corner or edge. Resting on HP with one of its corners. Okay, so these three are very important terms, such that the outside opposite to the resting corner is 20 above HP and inclined to VP at 40 degree. Okay, based on these three, given lamina is pentagon and it is resting on HP. It is resting on HP on one of its corners. Okay, so based on this, first you should draw a regular pentagon, Okay, since it is resting on corner, so take corner towards right. If it is resting on edge, you can take the resting edge towards right. Okay, in this problem, you can see it is also a pentagonal lamina resting on HP, but one of the sides, since it is one of the sides, we are taking side towards right. Whereas in this problem, it is resting on corner. We are taking corner towards right. Okay. First, draw pentagon by taking corner towards right. Draw regular pentagon having 30 sides. Interior angle will be 108. Already we discussed how to construct the pentagon. Okay, using same method. So draw the first top view. Next, project the points and get the front view. Okay, so this easily you can do. Next, in all previous problems, okay, you were having detail regarding inclination with respect to HP. But in this problem, you don't have inclination with respect to HP. Instead of that, they have given one more data such that the side opposite to the resting corner is 20 above HP. So here A is the resting corner. Side opposite to resting corner means this side in front of this. Okay, this is A. Side opposite to resting corner means CD. Okay, this is exactly opposite to this. CD is the side opposite to the resting corner. A is the resting corner. This line CD is the side opposite to resting corner. Now in front view, C dash D dash on XY means it is 0 from HP. But in next we should satisfy the first condition. The side opposite to the resting corner, that means D dash C dash should be 20 above HP. Instead of giving angle, here they have given the position of this CD, okay, in front view. Next, we will redraw the same front view such that D dash and C dash will be at a height of 20 okay, and then we will repeat the same procedure. After that, project the points and get the second view, second top view. Okay, I will show the procedure on SolidWorks. Okay, if you get any doubt, you can ask. So I will try to clarify your doubt. Okay, I will consider the same problem on SolidWorks. First, I will draw XY line. Okay, next, so draw the top view as I explained earlier. First, draw this vertical line towards left since it is resting on corner. If it is resting on side, so you have to draw this towards right. Next, length of the side is given 30 so it should be 30. Next, so draw using protractor, draw two sides interior angle should be 108. Next, length should be same, 30. Next, I will draw one more line. Yes, after drawing 3 lines, next use compass. So take 30 as radius, draw an arc. Next again same 30 as radius, from this point as center, draw an arc. And next connect the points. After that, I will increase the thickness of sides. So only the pentagon should be thick, remaining all are construction. So I will delete this. I should dimension any one of the side. Out of these 5, you should dimension any one side. Next, I will name the points. A, B, C, D, E. Okay, this is the first step. Next, I will project the points and get the front view. So project the point. So this is projector of A. Next, projector of E and B. Next, C and D. This is the front view. Now I will name the points. A dash. Since for front view, we are looking from this direction, okay, from here down. So E is nearer, so it will be visible. B is farther, and this will be invisible. So E dash visible, B dash invisible, so inside the brackets. So here also D dash and C dash. C dash will be inside the brackets. Okay, after drawing front view, in all previous problems, so we know the inclination, we used to draw an inclined line to the given inclination. But here we don't know the angle. Instead, what we know is side opposite to the resting corner is 20 mm above HP. So first, I will draw a horizontal line. So first draw a horizontal line 20 mm from XY, that is 20 mm above HP. Okay, next, so consider a point on XY line like this. Okay, use compass. So take radius as length of front view, that is A to D, A dash to D dash, that is the radius. Okay, so take, using compass, take the radial distance between A dash to D dash, then take A as center, cut an arc. Okay, now I will use center point arc. That means you should use compass. So this is, so choose any point on the XY line at convenient distance. Okay, this will be A dash as center, and 46.17, that is the radial distance between A dash and D dash. So draw an arc. So it is 46.17. So it will cut this horizontal line drawn 20 mm above HP. Okay, so this is the point. Okay, where D dash and C dash lie. This is C dash D dash. Okay, next connect these two. In same front view, we are satisfying the first condition. Next, locate E dash B dash. So take distance between A dash and E dash B dash. Using compass, take the distance, 1 point on A dash, another point, that is tip of pencil on E dash. Take this as center, again radius 17.63. Okay, next, so I will name the points. So this is A dash, this is E dash, B dash. Next, so this will be D dash, C dash. Okay, next, so I will increase the thickness. Okay, so after this, you should project points from this front view and top view, and you should get the next view. That is same as previous problem. Okay, then measure the angle 25.67 degree. In the question, they ask you to find the inclination of the lamina with HP. So that is 25.67 degree, around 26 degree. Okay. Next, project the points and get the second top view like this. Okay. After that, similar to previous problem. So next, second top view. So you should satisfy the last condition. The side opposite to the resting corner is 20 mm above HP and inclined to VP at 30 degree. Which is inclined to VP at 30 degree? Side opposite to the resting corner is inclined to VP at 40 degree. So here, why we are not determined beta angle? What is the reason? Why it is not required to find beta angle for this problem? Okay, here given inclination is 40 degree and we are making this CD inclined at 40 degree. What is the reason? Why we are not determining beta angle? Okay, you can try to give answer. Why we are not finding beta angle for this problem? Okay, now, so in this case, so we have to incline this CD. Okay, so look at the length of CD, that is the edge opposite to resting corner. Okay, initially it was 30. Here also it is 30 only. There is no change in this length. Okay, it is 30 here also. So that means true length of the side is available at this position also. So now we are making this true length of CD inclined to true inclination 40 degree. That's why finding beta is not required. Okay, so you have true length of CD, so it is not required. So remaining thing you can do on this. Okay, later I will share this solution as classwork. Okay, follow this procedure and okay, do it. Next, I will consider next problem. A hexagonal lamina of sides 25 mm rests on one of its corners on HP. The lamina makes 45 degree to HP and the diagonal passing through the corner on which it rests appears to be inclined at 30 degree to VP, draw its projections. Okay, so here also after reading the problem you should identify which is the given lamina. It is hexagonal lamina. Next, whether it is resting on HP or VP. It is resting on one of its corners on HP, resting on HP. Okay, whether it is resting on side or corner, that also you should identify. Okay, based on these three things, you can draw the initial top view. Hexagon on HP and it is resting on corner. Okay, since it is resting on corner, you should draw hexagon in this orientation where two sides are parallel to XY line. If it is resting on edge, you should draw two sides perpendicular to XY line like this. Okay, here in this problem, hexagonal lamina rest on HP on one of its edges. So you are taking edge towards right. That means two edges will be perpendicular to XY line. In this problem, it is resting on corner. So you are taking corner towards right. So that means two sides should become parallel to XY. Okay, then only you are able to draw one of the dimension in its true length. Otherwise you cannot. Okay. So next, so based on this, first draw regular hexagon. Okay, you know the interior angle of hexagon. So what is the interior angle of hexagon? Really? What should be the angle between two sides in hexagon? Interior angle?
120.
120. Okay. So you should draw regular hexagon having 120 interior angle and 25 mm sides. Okay. Then draw the top view, then front view. Next, you have inclination with HP. Okay, the lamina makes 45 degree to HP. So same front view, draw an inclined line. Okay, then locate point A, F dash, B dash, E dash, C dash, D dash. Similar to previous problem. Okay, locate the points and project the points. Okay, get the second top view. Next, in this problem, why we are not determining beta? So here given inclination 30 degree to VP, whether it is true inclination or false inclination. Given inclination.
False inclination.
False inclination. Why it is false inclination? How you can know that
given
it is
appears.
Appears. Okay. From the beginning I am telling you. So in the problem, if they say appears to be inclined at 30 degree, that is the term used to represent false angle. Appears means actually it is something else, but it looks like inclined at 30 degree. Looks like means appears, that is false inclination. Okay, given inclination is false means obviously you will have false length of diagonal. Okay, in this problem, so we are considering AD. Okay, this is the resting corner is A. A is the resting corner. Diagonal passing through the resting corner means, so this line. Okay, diagonal means it is a line which will divide polygon into two equal parts. Okay, in some cases they will use the term median. Both are same. Okay, so here AD is the diagonal. This is the diagonal. Okay, initially the length of AD will be this much. Okay, now because of inclination, if you look at the length of same AD, okay, whether it is same or it got reduced, length of AD because of inclination. So it got reduced. Okay, actual length is this much. Visually only you can identify the length of AD got reduced. Because of that, the width of the hexagon also got reduced because of inclination. Now AD is the diagonal passing through the corner. Because of inclination, the length of AD got reduced. Okay. Next, so look at the given inclination. The diagonal passing through the corner on which it rests appears to be inclined at 30 degree to VP. So here we have false length of diagonal and given inclination is also false. Given inclination itself is beta. So directly make this AD inclined at 30 degree. Okay, and get the final view. So the procedure to get this final view is initially you will draw a line inclined at 30 degree directly from XY, or you can draw a line parallel to XY at certain distance and you can directly draw a 30 degree depending on space availability on the drawing sheet. Okay. Next, first locate A and D on this 30 degree inclined line. Okay, so you know A and D, so you take the distance from this view. First mark A, then take distance between AD using compass, mark point D. Okay, after that you know point A and D, you should get C. Okay, take radial distance between A to C, cut an arc. Next, take radial distance between D to C and D as center, cut one more arc, you will get C. Similarly, next take radial distance between A to B, from A as center, cut an arc. Next, take radial distance between D to B as center, cut one more arc, you will get B. Okay, similarly, you can get E and F. This procedure is already familiar to you. Okay, I am from the beginning. I am explaining this procedure. In the previous classes, I have shown you how to redraw it. Okay, I don't repeat. Later, I will share this solution. Okay, so again, get the same solution using your instruments. Okay, so that you will become familiar with construction procedure. Next, I will consider the last problem of today's class, and I will show the complete procedure of this problem using SolidWorks. Okay. A pentagonal lamina of 25 mm sides rests on HP on one of its corners. The perpendicular bisector, also known as median. Okay. In few problems, instead of giving perpendicular bisector, they may give the median. Meaning is same. Okay. They can use perpendicular bisector or median. Both are same. The perpendicular bisector, which is passing through the resting corner, is inclined to HP at 45 degree and VP at 30 degree. The side opposite to the resting corner is nearer to the observer. Draw its projections. Okay, this is the given problem statement. Okay, after reading the problem statement, first you should identify given lamina. Here it is pentagon. Next, whether it is resting on VP or HP, it is resting on HP. Next, whether it is resting on edge or corner, it is resting on corner. Okay, based on these three things, you can draw the initial position. So since it is pentagon lamina resting on HP and it is resting on corner, you should draw initial view like this. Okay, first draw pentagon. So take corner towards right. Okay, that means one point should be towards right and edge towards left. Okay, then project the point, get the front view. Next, so they have given the perpendicular bisector which is passing through the resting corner. So here A is the resting corner. Perpendicular bisector means, so you should draw a horizontal line from A. Okay, if you draw a horizontal line from A, it will cut the opposite side CD exactly at its center. Okay, it will divide CD into two equal parts. This horizontal line, if you draw a horizontal line from A, this line will divide CD into two equal parts. That means it is bisecting. That means it is dividing. This line is dividing CD into two equal parts. Okay, so that's why it is called as perpendicular bisector. Next, same line. Okay, I am naming this point as 1 just for reference. Okay, only for reference purpose I am naming it as 1. A to 1 is the perpendicular bisector. It is also called as median because this line is also dividing the entire lamina, the surface, into two equal parts. Okay, this is above off and this will be below off. That's why it is called as median. That means it is like a center line of this lamina. That's why it is called as median. Perpendicular bisector because this line is dividing CD into two equal parts and it is perpendicular to CD. Okay. Next, so A to 1 is the perpendicular bisector. That means when you draw front view, A dash D dash will also include A to 1. Okay. Next, so perpendicular bisector which is passing through the resting corner is inclined to HP at 45 degree. Now A dash D dash, that means A1 is also B, A dash D dash also represent A1. Okay, so for 1 also same projector will be same. Okay, this is part of this front view. Next, in order to make this perpendicular bisector inclined at 45 degree to HP, so you should make this front view inclined at 45 degree. Then obviously this A1 also will be inclined at 45 degree. Okay, next project the points and get the second top view. Now here you can see A to 1, this is the true length of perpendicular bisector. Because of inclination, the length of perpendicular bisector got reduced. But look at the given angle. The perpendicular bisector which is passing through the resting corner is inclined to HP at 45 degree and VP at 30 degree. That means given inclination is true, but here you have false length of perpendicular bisector. That means we should find out beta. Okay, in the previous case, the length of this diagonal got reduced, but given inclination itself is beta. That's why it is not required to find beta. Given inclination is beta. In this case, CD, true length of CD, here also true length of CD remains same. So that's why we can make it inclined at 40 degree because we have true length. In this problem, we don't have the true length. So because of inclination, the length of the perpendicular bisector A1 got reduced. Now we should find out beta. Okay, I will solve the same problem on SolidWorks. Okay, a pentagonal lamina of 25 mm sides rests on HP on one of its corners. The perpendicular bisector which is passing through the resting corner is inclined to HP at 45 degree and VP at 30 degree. The side opposite to the resting corner is nearer to the observer. Draw its projections. Okay, later we will discuss about last statement, the side opposite to the resting corner. Okay, this I will explain later. First I will start drawing the solution. First start from XY line. Okay, next since it is resting on corner, draw this vertical side towards left. Length is 25, length of side. Already I explained how to draw this pentagon. Okay, follow the same procedure. Once again, I don't explain, I will draw it quickly. Okay, then I will name the points. Okay, afterwards I will project the points. Front view. So next, so I will name the points of front view. Okay, next, so I will satisfy the first condition. So perpendicular bisector means, so if I draw horizontal line from A, okay, so that will be, this is the perpendicular bisector. Okay, that means, so this front view will also represent perpendicular bisector. So I will make this front view inclined at 45. So next, consider a point on XY. Draw inclined line. Okay, it's draw a 45-degree inclined line. Okay, next, so take the radial distance between E dash and A dash using compass, then draw an arc and get it. Point 8. Next, radial distance between A dash and C dash. Okay, this is 38.57. Okay, next, so I will increase the thickness. Then next I will name the points. Okay, now I satisfy the first condition, so that is inclined at 45 degree. So the perpendicular bisector, that is A to 1, this point, if I name this as 1, just for convenience, so I am naming this point as 1. Okay, next project the points and get the second top view. A. Project from both front and top view. Afterwards, I will connect all these points. A to B, B to C, C to D. Then, so I will increase the thickness. So I will name these points. Only A, not A dash. Only. Okay, so next, so this is the second top view. So next I should satisfy the last condition. So the perpendicular bisector which is passing through the resting corner is inclined to HP at 45 degree, already satisfied, and VP at 30 degree. So A to 1, this is the perpendicular bisector. Okay, so the actual length of perpendicular bisector, true length of perpendicular bisector is 38.57. Now, so here the length of this perpendicular bisector got reduced to 27.09. Okay, so that means here I have false length of perpendicular bisector A1. Okay, since I have false length of perpendicular bisector, I should find out beta. Given inclination 30 is true inclination. Since perpendicular bisector passing through the resting corner is inclined to VP at 30 degree, it is true inclination, but here I have false length of perpendicular bisector. So I will go for finding the beta angle. So first I can start from XY line, or I can consider a line parallel to XY. Okay, if you don't have sufficient space, okay, in order to reduce the space required to draw the final top view, you can go for this approach. You can draw a line parallel to XY. Next, first draw a line inclined to true inclination, so that is 30 degree, and having true length, that is this length. So using compass, so take the distance between A and 1, true distance, that is 38.57, true length of the perpendicular bisector. Okay, next this length should be equal to true length of perpendicular bisector. Next, so after this, draw the locus. Okay, so after drawing that, so I will delete this dimension. Okay, next, so I don't know the false inclination, but I know the false length. Okay, this is point A. So this has center, and length of the perpendicular bisector in second top view, that is 27.09 as radius. I will cut an arc. Okay, next, so I will connect A and this point. So this is 1. Okay, this is point A and this is point 1. Okay, so next, so I can measure the beta angle. So it is 45. Okay, if true inclination is 30, you will get beta as around 45 degree. Always it will be in the same proportion. Okay, next, I should reproduce the entire view in this orientation of beta degree, beta angle. Okay, so already I know A and 1. I should get remaining 4 points C, B, D, E. Okay, first I will consider point C. How to get point C? If I know 1 and A, easily I can get point B and C. Okay, first consider B or C. Okay, I will consider B first. So first take the radial distance between A to B using compass. Take distance between A and B. Okay, it will be 22.65. Okay, next, cut an arc. A as center and this as radius. It is 22.65. Radial distance between A to B. Okay, next, from 1 to B, I know point 1. I should get the radial distance between 1 to B. So measure the radial distance between 1 and B. Okay, it is 26.51. So from 1 as center and 26.51 as radius, I will draw one more arc. Okay, so this point is B. Okay, I will name it as B. Next, similarly, so A to B and A to E both are having same radial distance. So I will try to get point E. Okay, so from A as center, A to E as radius, so that is 26.65. Sorry, 22.65. I will draw an arc. Okay, next, radial distance between 1 to B and 1 to E both are same. So from 1 as center, I will draw one more arc. So radius will be 26.51. Okay, so this is point E. Okay, now I will name this point. Okay, I got 4 points. A1 already on the beta line. Next, I got B and E. Okay, now I should get point C and D. Okay, now, so I will consider the radial distance between B to C. Okay, and distance between 1 to C. Okay, now okay, B as center and B to C radial distance as radius. Okay, I will cut an arc. I will draw an arc. 18.89. Okay, next, so 1 to C. Which is 12.57. Okay, next, so I will draw an arc. Radius will be 12.57. Okay, I will draw an arc and then I will extend this arc. Since it should cut this arc, I will extend it. Okay, next I will get point C. Okay, this is point C. Next, similarly, so I know E and 1, I should get D. So radial distance between E to D and B to C both are same. So from E, I will draw an arc. Taking E to D as radial distance, that is 18.89. Next, from 1 as center, I will draw one more arc. Radial distance will be 1 to C and 1 to D both have the same distance. So it will be 12.57. Okay, so this is point D. Okay, next connect these points A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to A. Increase the thickness. Okay, so this is same top view in different orientation. So we are here A1 is parallel to XY line. Here it is making an inclination of beta with XY. That means it is inclined at beta to VP. Okay, next after this, project the points and get the final view. Next A. So this is the locus of A since it is on XY line. Next point E. So here point E. Next D, next B, next C. Then you can name these points. A, this is E, C, then this is B. Okay, A, B, C, D, E. Totally we have 5 points. Okay, next connect these points. A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to A. So I will increase the thickness of these lines. Okay, I should name this as A dash B dash. Okay, I did mistake. So since it is front view, so all these points should have dash. So this is the final front view. So now this is the solution, but consider the last condition in the problem. Okay, the side opposite to the resting corner is nearer to the observer. Okay. So here you can see side opposite to the resting corner. A is the resting corner. Side opposite to resting corner means D to C. Okay. So here this condition you should satisfy in the last position, last top view. Okay. So now for front view, this is the front view. For drawing front view, you are looking from this direction, front. Okay. Now A, it is the resting corner. Side opposite to the resting corner means DC, this line. Okay. If this is the position of the observer, this arrow mark, so whether A is nearer to observer or this CD is nearer to observer, which is nearer? Nearer to this arrow mark. Which one is nearer? Point A or line CD, which is nearer to observer? Okay, CD is nearer to observer. That means CD is the side opposite to the resting corner. So if when you go for redrawing it, you have two options. Either you can take A upwards like this, or you can take this as C. You can make this as 1 and this as A. Okay, if you consider this point as A and this as 1, then the resting corner will become nearer to observer and this side will go upwards and it will become farther. So the side opposite to the resting corner is nearer to the observer means you should redraw this such that compared to A, CD should be nearer to observer like this. Okay. If you consider this solution, here you can see in this problem they have not specified any condition whether resting side should be nearer to observer or this corner should be nearer, that is not specified. So we can either redraw this view such that A will be downwards or A upwards. It is not an issue in this problem. But here if you consider A is nearer to the observer whereas CD is far up to the observer. If this condition is not given, you can draw in any way. You can take this A above or below, your wish. Okay, suppose it is specified like in this problem. Okay, you should redraw this view such that A will go above and CD will be below. That means CD will become nearer to observer. Okay, so remind